Hey everyone, I am doing a Luna Moth tonight. I'm going to try to lift this up just a little bit so you can see the shimmer. Check it out. Not the shimmer of the paper, but the shimmer of the Luna Moth. So I'm going to make this a moon. So I used dioxine purple. You can use any purple, any green, any yellow. And then I used this, which is Folk Art Glitterific Fine Gold something, OR. So hopefully that isn't backwards, but this is what I used to make it all shimmery. So I printed out a Luna Moth. I just kind of roughly put in some color. And I'm going to add some really cool embellishments. Like I'm going to add, this is the moon. I'm going to add trees and all kinds of stuff in this. So let me get started. The Luna Moth, I can't do it exact, but this is crushed glass. This is a stained glass, a faux stained glass piece of wood. And I'm going to leave this part, the moon, for a minute because I want to get the Luna Moth pretty much done. So, because I'm going to teach you how to mix alcohol ink with resin to change the color of the resin. You can use mica powders. I think there's one other kind. I'm not absolutely positive what it is. Mica powders and alcohol ink. There's one more. So I'm trying to do this kind of specifically. So it might be about an hour, but hang out as long as you would like. This is just clear, which is kind of a whitish color. I was looking at the picture, and it's kind of white, and it has kind of white on its eyeballs too, so down in here. So I'm going to put that there just to remind me that I need to put some in there. But the embellishments I'm going to put on here are going to be so cool. I have some dried flowers and dried greenery and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be really cool, since I am doing a moon, that if I add some, a little bit of an effect of having, having like trees and stuff coming through, kind of like when we paint. Little trees. So I'm only filling this up pretty much just to the top. You can use your tweezers. If you use your tweezers, it'll kind of take you a little bit. I don't know if I would. I'm going to try to refresh my page and see if you guys are commenting, because if you're commenting, I've got it pulled up now. So, oops. I guess I can't have it with sound on. Hold on, I'm live. Hold, please. Hold. Let me turn this down. I haven't set up my StreamYard back up yet, so. Okay. Sorry about that. I thought maybe I could see the comments, but maybe I can't. But anyway, so those embellishments are going to make it look a little more realistic. I'm kind of playing with different designs because, you know, you can put glass in anything, and you can put anything into the glass piece, but I thought it would be really cool to put those in. I also found perfect ones for the fringe. They have very fringy, what do you call them? Antennas, or antennae. I'm not sure how you say it. Antenna or antennae. So I went ahead and put the colors on this guy because it would have taken probably 10 minutes for me to do that, and this is a resin thing, so I'm getting you started on the resin. Okay, so let me make sure that's all the white. The eyes and their, yeah. I just printed out this tweezers, very handy to get it out of the wrong spots. Okay, I'm going to tap these down to make sure that they're going to stay. That looks good to me. I'm going to put the top on because I always spill these. Set you aside. Now, I have several different greens that I'm going to use for him or her or it. Fun fact, they only live 7 to 10 days. Another fun fact is when they only eat to become the moth, and then once they come out of their chrysalis, they don't have any mouth and they don't have any digestive system. That's why they only live in 7 to 10 days. So they only breed, lay eggs, die. That's it. Breed, lay eggs, die. Okay, so I'm going to use this lighter color of the green because it's the closest to that. These are going to be blue. I'm just making sure of my picture here. This is going to be blue. I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, so here's the picture. There's blue in there. I'm thinking maybe... No, it's the bottom part of the leaf. Or not leaf. So I guess it would be here. So this is green. This is blue. Okay. Had to get my colors straight here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to fill it all the way full because I have a darker green and then another darker green that I'm going to add to try to give it a little depth. Yeah, the 3D-ness of it. Can you say 3D-ness? I don't think you can say 3D-ness. Well, that's a Tammy word. The 3D part of this comes from the actual 3D piece. I just noticed that I needed another one up there. I might have to move that one. He's a little high. So I'm going to try to do like 3D depth, and I need this guy over here. I'm trying to do as close as I can to it, but I mean, it's not going to be perfect. It's a piece of art. Okay, so these are purple. So I have purple for those. And so all of this is green. This is green under the eye. I'm just marking myself so I don't have to keep on saying, hold on, I got to look at the picture. Okay, so that's white, green, green, green. This is the first one that I've planned out, like planned out. I was like, no, I'm not. Oh, I still need that. No, I'm not going to do that. I like you guys to see my art brain going because I always get to see your guys' art brain going. So let me fill in this lighter stuff. Oh, and above here I think is green, yeah. So above here is green. So I was thinking I'm going to do the moon yellow with yellow resin. And I was thinking about adding some of this blue and white, and it's like, I don't know, it's just like rounded pieces just to kind of make it look a little bluish. What do you guys think about that? I can't see your comments, but I will definitely look at them. Oh, what's this guy? Oh, that's green. I will definitely look and answer them after the video. I am going to start selling resin kits because I, of course, if you've been watching me, you'll know that I'm getting ready to have another shoulder surgery, so I'll be out of commission for in-person parties. So I'm working real hard on this resin kit. It's Sunbeam. I just threw that clear across the room. Sunbeam Resin Studios, the name of my group. We haven't really put it out there yet. I'm just kind of showing you guys what you're going to get in the kits. You can pick your colors. Okay, this is purple, Tammy. Purple and blue. Okay, I'm making sure I'm not doing... Is this green? No, that's blue. No, that's green. No, Tammy. See? This is live. That's supposed to be blue. So Give me just a second. Sorry, mistakes do happen. Now, if you see this, while I'm picking these out, I put 2 pieces of paper together, contact paper, and you got to be kind of careful with that. You've got to really make sure that where the 2 pieces meet, or 2 pieces meet this way, that they're very, very much stuck together. Because I was getting ready for the live. I had everything except my contact paper, and I just had this roll of small, like already cut. So hopefully I won't have any resin pour out, but as you've seen before, oh, I forgot to show you. Hold on. Okay, so this is the resin I did last night. Check him out. Her out, it out, I don't know. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. It's ready to take apart, and like in the kits, you just peel this off. Now, I'll just take it apart for you. You just peel this off. Because it's been 24 hours. Now, I had a little bit of... God, that stuff's sticky. A little bit of pour out right here. But see, you can still see that I can bend this. It's not all the way set up. But if you could feel comfortable, you can bend that and bend it right back out, and it snaps right off. It's not going to peel your, it's not going to peel this stuff out. It's like I had a little, these are drips that I had. This is still sticky. But you can see how gorgeous that is. Oh my gosh. I love it. Look how shiny his beak is. I love it. Now, this hole here, I did fill it in accidentally because I needed to put more resin on it. So all you do is just take a little Dremel with a little drill bit, and it's done. Yeah, this is sticking. Definitely sticky. So I'm going to flip it this way, but you can kind of see what the light's going to do to it through the windows. I'm going to do it this way just so it can set up. And I finished this guy last night, but I didn't peel off the little pieces. This was where I didn't fill. So I went ahead and I had so much extra resin yesterday. I went ahead and filled in more, but it's still sticky there. But he turned out gorgeous too. I'm resined in heaven. I can't stand it. Now I got this stuff off of me. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so what was I doing? Oh, I'm picking this out. So anyway, yeah, if you make a mistake, you can definitely fix it before you do your resin. And I'm glad I caught that. I would have caught it when I was doing the blue, but I would have kept filling the green up. That's supposed to be green. Okay. This is very sticky, so I'm going to try to get it to come up here for me. I don't want to lift this at all. That is really, really important. If you lift this, you're going to have resin drip. I can see a hole right there. I probably will have some drippage right there. It will find the smallest little hole, and it will drip out. Where am I putting this at? Yeah, that's supposed to be green. The smallest little hole, and it'll just keep going. So I'm going to grab these pieces that won't let me get them up. Try to scoop it. I don't want to tear the... Same way with that. If I tear it, it's going to allow the resin to seep out. Now, as I was telling you last night, if you have... This is really important if you're going to do resin. Resin is very easy to do. I mean, I have kids do it. Very easy to do. And the most important part is don't lift this away from this. If you do, you'll have resin poured out. If you have resin pouring out, don't keep on filling the low spots because it'll keep on seeping out. Wait about... I almost put that in the wrong spot. Wait about, at least a couple hours. Let it start to set up. It sets up. Starts to get thick about 45 minutes, but you want to definitely let it set up. Just let it set up a couple hours. And if your resin, if you had any leftover resin, it still might be okay to stick in there. It probably won't be because it gets pretty thick after a couple hours. So if you feel comfortable in about 40 minutes, just hit that area again where it's low. I was just thinking too, don't let your tweezers lift that up either. That one was real close to this, so I'm going to push it down before anything lifts. Even if you get one of these little slivers of glass underneath that, and you can't even see that you did that, your whole piece is going to be lifted, and you will have a major pour out. That might be something you might start over on. Like if it just is going crazy on you. Sorry about this. I didn't mean to put, I meant this is supposed to have blue in it. Now, if you notice, I'm holding this down. I'm afraid for it to lift. You should be afraid for it to lift. And I'm trying really hard not, these are very small. And I don't want to put any holes in there. Oh, come up, bud. Don't rip. I'm going to leave him there. Even though it's blue, my thing is sticky. Even though it's blue, it's such a sliver, and it's laying completely flat, and it's stuck real good. That's going to be in the back. I don't care. And the blue is going to make it kind of bluish anyway. So I'm okay with that. Okay, Tammy, don't do that anymore. Okay, getting back to this. Oh, I'm going to put the blue in. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I'm putting the blue in. Because if I don't, I think that I'm just going to keep on doing that. There we go. There we go. Can't believe that I did that. Well, I can believe that I did that twice. So if you have any questions about the subscription box, you have any questions about resin in general, trust me, I learn by messing up. I don't ever read anything. I never read anything. When I first started doing porcelain dolls, this is kind of a funny story. Kinda. It was a big waste, but it's kind of funny. We had a ping pong table downstairs. I was so excited to pour and, you know, get some dolls made so I could learn how to do it and you know, open my doll shop and blah, blah, blah. So excited. I did have my doll shop for 26 years though. Anyway, okay, stop with the blue. Okay, good. Now I won't mess up. But I got so excited to pour the molds because I love, I'm not into dolls at all. Yeah, I had a doll shop. Not into dolls, but I'm into teaching, and I was teaching porcelain doll making classes, and I was teaching, you know, sculpting and mold making and just all different kinds of stuff in the art field like that. But I got so excited, I just put the molds together, and I poured literally, this is the real truth. My whole entire top of my ping pong table was full of doll heads. 24-inch doll heads. And I think I had like 50 or 55 of them. And come to find out, you have to strain the porcelain 3 times to get the clumps out so there's no air bubbles. Kind of like resin. And they all had air bubbles on them. In them everywhere. I had to trash every one of those heads. Completely unusable. Completely unusable. Couldn't even sand them out. I had so many, they're called pinholes in a doll head. I had so many pinholes, it was ridiculous. But I learned my lesson quite expensively. But I learned my lesson on how to pour doll molds. So yeah, that was a life lesson learned for sure. Okay, so I'm going to put just a few more in here. A lot of the times I use the bigger, the more, they're not bigger, they're, I don't know how to explain it. I use these more for filler, and then all the decoration comes from on top. So all this decoration that you have on top, or all this embellishments, that's all last minute stuff. So you use what you need to use to get the piece filled. And I had that sitting right on top of the wet hummingbird. Look at this guy, man. I am in love with him. He doesn't exist in the real world, but he's really pretty. Okay. Oh, I forgot the purple. Yeah, so I use, this is more expensive. This is cheaper. I know that sounds awful, but using this as filler lets you use this as accents, if that makes any sense at all. Like, I would never fill up. This stuff I love. This is tiny, tiny, tiny rose gold glass. And I use it for embellishments. I wouldn't fill up this whole piece right here, because then I'm really just wasting it. I would throw a couple pieces of red down there, and that way it would fill it, and then you use your more expensive stuff. I know it sounds, I'm calling myself scrappy right now because I haven't had a lot of classes. So I'm being scrappy instead of cheap. It's like, scrappy sounds better and more professional. Okay, so I have pretty much a good layer. A good layer of green. I'm going to put a little here. Good layer of green. This color is pretty close to the Luna Moth color. And I found out also, I live back in the woods, and I figured I would see some Luna Moths, you know, because, you know, I didn't know they only lived 7 to 10 days. But I guess if you can't eat, that's what's going to happen. But let me set that aside. So this is actual, what is it called? It's an actual stone. It's purple. Oh, let me see if I can say it. Amethyst. That's hard to say. Amethyst. So this right here, it's like they have this eyelid. These are purple. So I'm going to throw in some of the purple here. And I don't quite like the dark because it's really dark. So I'm going to put in some of this lighter stuff. There's like, I don't know, a bunch of different colors. But I'm going to go, well, what color is this supposed to be? Oh, the eye is supposed to be blue. That's supposed to be blue. Good thing for pictures, man. Anyway, so out of all the times, I've lived in this house since 1992. And I've only seen, get in there, buddy. I've only seen one set of mating lunar moths. That's it. I have never seen them before that and never after. And they say that since they're nocturnal, most people don't see them. And that they only live for that little bit. And you can't plant stuff that they would eat because they don't eat. So weird. I guess after they come out, I'm trying to find a lighter purple that's going to fit in there. After they come out, I might have to take this big guy out of here. Their mouths and their digestive system disintegrate. I'm trying to get this piece of green out of here, and if it doesn't want to come, I'm going to leave it. I'm not poking a hole. Okay, you're staying. That's in the back. So unless you're really, really worried about it, I'm going to use this darker one because it's a perfect size. Unless that, unless that'll bother you. If you need to get that out, if you can scrape it out with your fingernail, it's much better than trying to dig it out with tweezers like this. Okay. It's the smaller places are like putting a puzzle together. Because you literally have to find the right pieces to sit in there. And you don't want it lifted so much. And this is purple. Oh, and these eyeballs, these things that look like eyes, they're to keep, bats. They're to keep bats from recognizing their head and body, so they can escape. It's like an escape thing. So these things down here act like these things up here. So the bats get confused. Come here, buddy. You have to go over there. I usually don't use tweezers, but these are real small pieces in there. And you have to find the right ones. And you don't have to make these, like if you buy a kit, you can pick your colors that you want. Ooh, I don't know if I like that light color. You can pick your colors. So I'll just load them up for you, and you can make your colors however you want. You do not need to make it like I'm making them. Even though that hummingbird is pretty cool. Okay, one more. I need one more. So let's get a big one. We'll put that on the bottom. And see if we can get it to fill in pretty quick. You can use jewelry. You can use plastic pieces. You can use dried flowers, not fresh flowers. Fresh flowers will just turn brown. Oops. They'll turn brown because the resin will kill the color. Get in there. Get in there. I said, get in there. You listened. But like if you want to do like, I'm going to do some portrait pets. So I ordered a whole bunch of dogs, different breeds of dogs. So I'm going to show that you can get the right colors and even do like a portrait sun catcher of your dog or your cat. I'm excited about that. Okay, I'm going to put that one was perfect. Okay, so I think I'm good with the purple. Now I need the blue into those little tiny spots. Now when you're working on these two, it's kind of like getting back to the painting because that's what I teach. Sorry, I stopped breathing so I could grab this guy. Oh my gosh, stay down there then. It's kind of like, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, it's kind of like when you're doing this, you're like, oh, this kind of looks boring. You know, there's nothing popping. That's because it all comes with the embellishments and at the very end. So I'm so excited to show you my trees. I think it's interesting too that they don't even have blue eyes. They're not even blue. The markings, that's too big. The markings are like, they have blue eyes, but they don't have blue eyes. This is so rewarding. Even my husband thinks they're cool. And that's saying something. Because he's like non-artsy-fartsy like I am. He would rather just have his, all the flat surfaces in his house not have artsy-fartsy stuff on it. I can't help it. I just can't help it. Okay, so I've got that. I've got this. This is all going to be yellow. So I'm going to just make sure of what I've got going on here. Okay, so now I'm going to start doing a little bit of embellishment. And I can't do the tree stuff until I pour the yellow resin, which we aren't ready for that. I'm also going to put some of these in here. Look how pretty that's going to be with that. Dried flowers. Or I could put some of this blue in. Ooh, the blue's pretty too. Yellow's pretty too. I mean, the only part that's on there is yellow is really this part at the top. This little section of the body. Which I think that's going to be too tall. Quit moving. Okay, so now I get to do the fun part. Okay, so I'm going to set this stuff aside so I don't dump it. I have dumped so much. So much. Now, with the blue... ooh, that's pretty. I have these little blue balls. I also have these, which are like little rhinestones. See, this is where you can start to do your own little thing. Those are pretty in there. And they're not going to look, scrappy. They're not going to look cheap because of the fact that they're going to be highly glassed up. Oh, no. Sorry. I forgot that I'm doing the low lights first. Sorry. Okay, so I am going to use this blue. I have some more blue that I thought I had sitting here. It's a darker blue than this. I'm going to see if this matches okay. I'm going to try to give it some shadows. Wow, that's almost... Well, let me get some on there and see if it's going to give it some shadow. I don't know. Let me look and see if I can even see the shadow. I'm watching myself on my thing, but I don't know if it's doing it like I wanted it to. It gives it some. And I'm trying to be pretty particular about where I'm placing it. I don't want to put it all over, but I like these round stones. The round parts. So what basically I'm going like this. I started here and then I'm going to go up like this and then deeper in there. Yeah, I can see the shadow. Okay. Because I have some other blue over and I just didn't want to go get it because I don't like getting up during lives. Okay. So I'm just grabbing the regular glass because I didn't fill it in enough to where it's letting stuff move. So okay. I said okay, and then I go grab more. I thought I had more in that. That was my fault. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. It's not adding much, but when the resin goes on it, you'll be able to see a little bit of a shadow. And I did it with the hummingbird, and it worked out really, really good. So I thought, well, I'm going to teach that. Definitely ask questions if you have any questions. I'm just not set up to answer them. I thought I had it on my laptop or my iPad, but I can't see the comments. Okay, I'm going to find one little one. Good deal, buddy. Okay, put one right here. And one right there. So the filling in takes you no time at all. But then when you want to start to decorate it, every single one of these is a one-of-a-kind item. So if you want to start making it your own, you know, like something that people recognize you for, that's when you start embellishing it in certain ways. Kind of same way with painting. Okay, I gotta get that guy in there. Okay. So that blue looks pretty good. I'm not done embellishing it, but that blue looks pretty good. Okay, the green, I have darker green. Let me put some of this. Oh, had my thing on it. They had my, my tree leaves on it. This is kind of an olive green. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of olivey and brownish. Get some of this in there, and then I'll put the green back on top of it. See, you can see the difference between this and that. It's just gives it a little oomph. So, and it's more rewarding in my mind to actually take this and be kind of picky with it. Just get it going. Oh, that's a nice piece right there. Look at this long piece. It went exactly where I wanted it. That piece is a little funky. Let's see if I can get you in there. Nope. Funky guy, you're coming out. You can go over here. So the shadows are just like around the edges. Just around the edges. And a little bit up. You can put like in a corner. You can just go up one side. I like to go on the insides of stuff, all the way up. You can get glass too. You can get it all over the place. It is not, it's pricey. I will just tell you it's pricey. So that's why resin is pricey. That's why resin and resin classes are a little expensive. But you definitely get a high quality product out of it. And it's unlike anything you can buy in the store. That's why I want to send out the kits, because I enjoy it so much. I could sit down here and just do piece after piece after piece after piece. I could just keep going. But I thought, well, I'll do the ones that you guys can get in the subscription box. And it doesn't have to be exactly even. Ooh, that has not mud, but he's not a pretty guy. Oh, let's put him on this side. Yeah, looked like he had dirt or something on him. With the kits, you get everything. You get everything you need, everything that I'm playing with. You're not going to get super, super duper embellishments, but you can buy them at Michael's, Walmart, Amazon. You have stuff at home probably you can put in it. There's another one of those that has a funky color to it. Let's put you in this corner. There you go. But like if you have a mom's keepsake, you can set it in resin. and it will last forever. If you wanted to put a keepsake in here, you can add whatever you want. You can add, I put candy. I resined candy. And it was cool. It was just looked like candy for Christmas. Just a decoration. But now you could see just a little bit of the difference between just letting it be just all one color versus getting these tones in there. Come here, buddy. Come here. You want to be in there forever, remember? I'm making sure I didn't miss anybody, and I did miss this guy. So in this one, I'm just going to put one little piece in there. Same way with this one, just to give it depth there. Okay, so now I'm going to get my green and fill in to the top on those. And it doesn't matter if these go on top, it's still going to show the shadow. But I do want to get it filled up. They will shine through too as the colors, and it's so pretty. So pretty. So this is that light green that I'm just going around and filling up. I like to do it in stages, because if you do it in stages, then you can do those, you can make it soft looking, because you're putting some of this over the top, and it just softens out, softens that shadow that you just put in. And I haven't even gotten to the fun stuff yet. I hope you guys didn't hear my stomach. My stomach's just been rumbling. Just rumbling like crazy. That was pretty loud. Get some more of this green. A lot of times too, you'll get, see how this looks dusty? It has like it's crushed glass, so it's going to have some dust when they're, I don't know how they do it, crumbling it or whatever they're doing. That dust does not matter. Like this red looks real dusty. See how it looks real dusty? Hold on a second. Yeah, I just did put that in my mouth, just to show you the difference between the two. See the difference? So when the resin goes over it, you're going to get this. That was funny. Let me put this in my mouth. I didn't have any water sitting here. So, and I'm kind of corny like that. So, in my mouth it went, and yeah, it was a little dusty. Probably not a good idea to do that. It's kind of like glass powder. I won't do that anymore. That was pretty silly. My daughter's probably on here saying, Mom, I can't believe you just put glass in your mouth. But then she'll say, but I can believe that you just put glass in your mouth, because you do stupid stuff like that. It doesn't really taste that great. Oh, that's a good piece right there. Good deal. Okay, so got my greens, I think. Let me make sure I've got it all filled like I want. The purples and the blues. This, I'm going to add a couple little of some different types of stuff. This here, now I'm going to really make this stand out, because how am I going to do that? Am I going to do that with that green? I'm going to do it with that green, but let me put a little bit of this on here. You can do this. Now, let's not do this right now. Usually you have to, if it's on a flat surface, it's better to put the resin on first. So, backtracking a bit here. So I'm not going to do this part yet. But I am going to go and start embellishing again. Let me close this up. No, I'm not closing it up. I don't know where the lid is. Okay, dude, I think I got you good enough. Now, the blue. I have two different things that I can do with the blue. Let me see if that. This. Okay, so this here is foil. It looks like glitter. Well, this one might be. Nope, this is foil. And what this does is it adds like a. It does this. Oh my gosh, this is super sticky. If you look at things shimmering, those are the pieces of foil in here. You can see the foil. That's actually a piece of shale, but they're these things. They're like iridescent, and I have different colors of them. So if I were to put these in, this would be the time that I'd put these in. And I am going to put them in just to give the blue a little more. Just kind of flatten them out. I'm not putting in a bunch. Just to give him a little character. My finger, that blue had some resin on it. Now my finger is sticky. When you get to the resin, you definitely want to wear gloves. These are nitrile gloves. They're chemical gloves. If you use just regular hair gloves, some resins might get a little, it wants to go, like, eat that a little bit. So, definitely get some chemical gloves. And it's not like the hair gloves. Yeah, you use chemicals with the hair gloves, but okay, I'm trying to get this in the spots that I want. That gives that a little oomph. Need a couple pieces of blue here. You'll do that too. You'll go around and you'll see, oh, well, I need a little bit here, a little bit there. I have more of those. What colors do I have? I have gold. And then I had one more color. Hold on a second. Oh, don't you spill that, Tammy. This is my favorite stuff. These little teeny tiny rocks. And they're from Temu. So, I'm going to put these in the green. And you'll see a huge transformation happen. It's not that important I get that out of there, but if I can, I'm going to, which I did. Cool beans. Now these things are little, so I have to get really close or they just fly everywhere. So my camera is not in a great spot for that. And these are a little more expensive, so I try to save them. I'm just telling you about the expense because it's expensive. But it's so fun. And it makes an expensive looking product. So it's worth it. Put a little bit too much in there, so just to make it even, I'll put it in on the other side. Get in there. Okay, that one's down there. I'm not going to try to force him out of there. God, you can have your mouse squeak. When I'm doing something real tedious, I kind of stop breathing and talking. I get real soft. I'll be on here tomorrow night too. I'm going to try to come on every night at 8 o'clock. So if you know anybody that likes resin or likes watching art projects like this, definitely send them my way. Get off of there. I must have a little piece of resin on this because it keeps on trying to be funky. Let's see if you guys can see that shimmer. You can see it a little bit. You'll see it a lot tomorrow when I undo the thing here. Just some in that little guys. Spread that out a little bit. Okay. You down. Okay. So let me get this cleaned up a little bit because I am going to be mixing resin here in a minute. So I can put my other embellishments on. Like I said, when you're mixing colors of resin, I forgot to put this on. This is one of my favorites too. Look at this. Oh my goodness. It's like little diamonds. And this doesn't even really matter if you get it in anything else. Oh, I didn't give the blue anything. Now, when you use glitter, from my experience, it's very easy to over glitter. And then it looks over glittered. Like glitter just goes everywhere. So be very sparingly on your glitter. And it goes on last. Because glitter floats. So if you try to put it on now and then put your resin on, it's going to float everywhere. And that's another thing that I figured out. Here's my butterfly I did. Very cool, very pretty. But I put glitter on it and I got glitter happy. So it looks really pretty and glittery. But I lost a little bit of this color because I put so much glitter on top of it. But I still love it. Look at that. I still love it. Oh, and here's the seahorse. I didn't show you guys the seahorse. These are iridescent balls. They're very cool. They're just round balls. But look at that. Look at him. And he has little flowers on him. Just in different spots that I resined over. Here's a purple one. You can see the purple one. But anyway, again, totally in love. Okay, so I didn't do anything for the blue. I do have stuff for the blue. So let me grab, where's that blue glass at? Not that. Okay, I'm going to put some shale on it. This is, I did this on the blue on the hummingbird and it looked really pretty. This is, good idea. Let's put that lid on. It's abalone. So it's very, very It's somewhat annoying, I will not lie, because it likes to stick to itself. And it's heavy because it's shell, but it gives it this iridescent glow. Please come up. And it's super flat. And that's going to stay in the sky. In the sky. And then I'm going to add some to the pink, or the purple, and then I'm going to mix the yellow resin first. Get some of these in here. I'm going to mix the yellow resin first so I can put my leaves on, or not my leaves, but my trees, my illusion trees. Everything's an illusion in art. I really don't care if those things move. They're just there for prettiness. I'm gonna put a couple in here. Kind of hard to get them in there. Oh, that worked. I just snapped it in half. I was like, okay, let's do that. Okay, so do I have everything done? I think so. I think so. And give this center a little oomph. Okay, dude. You are coming out there. Okay, so I did the green. I always like to give it something. So I'm going to give this purple. Let's see, this color? Nope. I'm going to give the purple a little bit of the rose gold. Just to give it a little something. So it's not so dark and so dull. It's a pretty color, though. Dude, I did not put you there. Sorry, I say dude a lot. Purple. Purple. These things like to fly out of your fingers. So they kind of go wherever they want. And what are you doing? Get back down in there. You were seated perfectly. Okay. Got some in all. Yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of that piece. I'm going to put another piece in there. Okay, so let me get this guy in there. Will you work? The yellow I picked out is an alcohol ink. And I'm going to mix it very lightly. Not lightly. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the color first. Just a little bit, because it looks like an extreme bright yellow. So, lid. Okay, so I'm going to get all my stuff out of the way here. When you work with resin, it's good to just back stuff away. Now I'm going to put stuff on it and some of that foil. Oops. Some of the foil, but I always put that on with the resin on. You do? Gosh. Okay. Glad you settled in. Guess he didn't like where he's at. Okay. I need to get my tree side that I threw on the floor by accident. Didn't mean it. There's that. And that. Okay, that's 3 of you. Where's the rest of you? I bumped the thing that I was using, and it threw them. And, oh, there they are. I was going to say they fell on, I thought they fell on the floor. They fell on my chair. Okay. So, okay, I was going to say, did I knock both of them over? No, I did not. Okay. Okay, so now I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay, so when you do resin, it's imperative that you mix it for 4 minutes. No matter what. At least 4 minutes. If you don't, let me get a piece to show you, just in case you weren't on here last night. This is one that's not available for sale, but I didn't mix the resin right. And if you see these empty spots, those are not supposed to be empty. I didn't mix it enough, and they all fell through. They had things like this. They all fell through. I had 4 or 3 balls or 4 balls, and they just went plop onto my table. And then if you look at the back, you can see all this where it drooped. See where it drooped? It was terrible. This is what will happen, and you can see it from the front. See? This is what will happen if you don't mix the resin all the way. You need to mix the resin all the way. If you need somebody to help you mix the resin, it has to be mixed for 4 minutes. You can mix it for more, but not for less. It's like so very important. Okay, I saw some things out of place, so it's just so very important. And a lot of people think it's 4 minutes, and then it's not really 4 minutes. The other thing is gloves. Definitely wear your gloves, because resin is super sticky. Some people, I've seen on the resin community that some people have an allergic reaction or something if they get it on them. Now, see, that would normally be me, but it's not me today. Or not me, because I'm okay. So you have 2 parts. This is from Temu. This is the epoxy hardener, and then this is the actual epoxy resin. I got that in there. Oh, it is backwards. I forgot to flip the camera, sorry. So, and you want to use equal parts. So, if you have like these plastic cups I get, so you can actually do them in equal parts. You know, I can do 1.5 and 1.5. So it has to be 1 to 1. Some resin is 1 to 2. So you want to make sure of what's what. So I'm going to take my A. I have it marked on top. And I'm going to mix the yellow up first. And let me make sure of which cup. It is not this one. It is this one. Now I'm guessing, see, I'm pouring it in, but I'm guessing on 3 ounces total. Now, one thing I have noticed with different resins, art resin is a really good resin. It's not so bubbly. I'm getting 1.5 here exactly. Art resin is good. This one here, this is Jan Chun, and I'm going to sneeze, sorry. It's a good resin. It works great. It likes to hold its bubbles, which is where your alcohol spray comes in. Alcohol spray. So I'm going to bring this and bring this up to 3 because I put 1.5 in it. It does hold its bubbles a lot. I noticed that. They have some bubble free. I've never used it. It's a lot more expensive. I think that it's not even a gallon, I don't think. Or it makes a gallon, I think. I think it was $74 or something like that. Now, this is going to look pretty stupid. I use my old paintbrushes that I throw away. Oops, sorry. I'm going to check this again just to make sure, because I kind of moved that. Always make sure. Always make sure. I use different stuff to throw away. I threw these away yesterday when I was cleaning. So I said, hey, I can use that to stir. So you don't need to stir really fast. Don't stir really slow. Just stir. The faster you stir, the more bubbles you will get. But again, the alcohol will take that off. It pops the bubbles. So you want to scrape the sides. And you want to make sure that you're hitting the bottom and kind of going everywhere. Now, when I pour this, a lot of it, I'm sorry, I do not pour. I will be pouring the yellow. Oh, that's okay. I will be pouring the yellow because of the fact that I'm not trying to drizzle it into certain areas. So if you pour it, if you try to pour this in here, you're going to have a lot of movement. Your stones might move. Some stones that I use are plastic because I love the shape. But they look like glass. So some glitters will move. The shale will move. These little guys will move. But not if you drizzle it in. Drizzling it also lets you make sure that you get in the corners. All the time, people forget to get the corners. And then you have holes, like if you look at my hummingbird yesterday, I had extra resin, and at the very end, I used that extra resin to fill in the holes that I had on the peacock, because I remembered now the peacock I ran out of resin. And I said, I'll just fill that in later. Well, I noticed that the following day, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I was supposed to fill that in. So I just filled it in. You can use different resins on top of different resins. Like if you run out of one and you have another brand, it's okay. Just let the first set dry and put it on top. If you don't fill it up all the way, mix some up after it sets for 24 hours. That's really important. 24 hours setting is huge, because what can happen is you'll have droopage. Droopage. Is that a word? Droopage. Man, I have to look some of these words up I use. Droopage. Anyway, it'll droop like the Grinch did. If you can see, there's a lot of bubbles in here. So, not as much as yesterday. I was really whipping it yesterday, and this whole thing was like solid bubbles. But I don't have any bubbles because of the alcohol. When you use the alcohol, you just, it's the 91%. I just put it in these little spray bottles. You don't want to oversaturate your piece because it does affect the resin. If you like saturate it with alcohol, it changes the chemistry of the resin. So you just spritz it until you see the bubbles pop, spritz. Until you see the bubbles pop, spritz, spritz, spritz. So that's probably about, 2.5 minutes. Like I said, this is going to be the yellow, and that is a super bright yellow. I might look in I have a bag of alcohol inks. I might tone it down a little bit. Even if it's mellow, it looks like, I don't know, it looks very bright. Very, very, very bright. And even if it were watered down, I think that it's going to be too white. I went in more of a, just a toned down thing. So once I get this going here, I'm going to grab, I have them sitting right here. I'm going to grab a different yellow. So the alcohol inks, you can use it for decorating. You can use it for swirling. You can use it to make different colors of resin. I haven't explored all the things you can do with alcohol ink, but I think you can paint pour with it, and it changes things, but I'm not real sure. Okay, I'm looking at this, and it's looking pretty close. Pretty close. Okay, let me grab my bag. Now, this will last for 45 minutes before it starts to thicken up. Different resins are different lasting, but I think I might just pour some of this white in here. I don't have another yellow. I have all different colors, but I have some other yellow. I'm just going to put some white into it to tone it down a little bit. This is the first time that I've ever taught how to mix the resin with the alcohol inks. So I'm going to use the yellow first because that's going to let me know how much white to use. Because, like I said, I don't want it so... I'm going to use one drop. One drop. One. And it's a tiny, tiny drop. I'm going to set this right here. Watch this one not be open. Yeah, it's not open. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, it's open now, like majorly. I just broke the top of it. Maybe. Holy cow, dude. I thought I snipped it or got it, but obviously I didn't. Now it's open. Yes, it is open. Okay, that's one drop. Oh, look, it's even... Oh, it's alcohol ink, Tammy. It's popping the bubbles. I want to see what color this turns. Okay, that's not even tinting. So, I can see a slight tint, but no. I'm not silly. This is hard to squeeze. Okay, let me see what color this is. It just, right now, it looks like a neon green. A neon green. I guess it's stuck. I was going to add blue. Maybe I'll just do blue. Because this might be very neon. Well, if I add blue to it now, it's going to turn green. So much for that. Put some drops in there. Jeez. Okay. I think I can use that and then use some white to tone it down. It is very neon. Hold on a second. I want to make sure these are down. Very neon. I mean, it might be cool being this color, but just make sure that you mix it up well. It's green. I guess I could have a green moon. Let's see. Yellow and blue make green. Yellow and orange make brown. Yellow and blue make... Oh, that's green. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. I'm trying to think of what I can add to this yellow to make it not so neon green. It is, look, it is neon green. But it might not look, it might be just because it's congested in there. Or not congested. I'm doing it. I can pour another color over it if I want. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Normally I would not pour. And this will tell you how well you did here. Woo, it's yellow. Okay, I'm going to pour a little bit there. Let it spread, and I'm going to pour some here. I'm going to get my areas first. And then I'll move it around. And then I'm going to put my trees on it. And I want this to be full. Yeah, I'm going to have to mix up more. Because these up here don't have anything in them except for just moon. And what this does, it's going to look like clear glass. Clear colored glass. So I am filling this one up. And this one up. Okay. Now I'm going to just dump what's left in here. Oops. Don't put your cup down in it, Tammy. Well, it's a pretty cool color. It looks green. But what I can do is I can, after I put my leaves or my trees on it, I can mix up a color. Let me set this somewhere. Mix up my trees. Yeah, I'm going to have a divot there, which I'll fill in from the back, and you won't be able to see it. I'm just spreading this around. I don't care about bubbles right now. I just want to get a layer so I can get my trees on there. And my flowers. This is all full, so this is good. Has bubbles in it, but you don't have to rush to get the bubbles out. No big deal. I might have it run right there. I don't think so, but I don't know for sure. Okay, let me go to this. Oh, I forgot to pour that. Crap. Well, I have to mix up more anyway. Yeah, usually I'm completely flat on bottom here, but get down there. Okay, so I have all my edges, all my corners. Okay, so when I spritz this, I want to spritz this before I put my other layer on because it can only go down so far. So I'm going to go ahead and spritz it, and you probably won't see the bubbles pop, but you might. I'm not sure if you will. Looks pretty good. A little bit of bubbles over here, but that's okay. That might be the alcohol ink. So I'm going to mix this up again and let it set, decorate, and then that way that's ready to pour. So let me mix up another set. So that was I think I'm just going to go clear this time too. Because, well, I can't because of that other spot. I can't do it. So I'm going to do another 3, which is probably way too much, but I already started it, so we will leave it. Actually, I'm going to set that aside. I don't need 3, so I'm going to use this other glass, this big, huge glass, and I'm going to do just a little bit. So since that A over there isn't being used with the hardener, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to sit there and be sticky. They can stay separate. It's when they get together. Probably don't need this much either, but that's okay. That's all right. So what I chose to put in here was, man, that's a big ripple. So when this ripples like this, because I didn't get this flat, I must have moved it. Let me not talk when I'm mixing this. Hold on. Okay, so I moved it and started doing this, and I must have bumped this. All I have to do is, after it's completely dry, is go back in and fill it in from the back side with resin, and you won't see that. It'll all work itself out. So let me see if I can get that same color here. I'm pretty good at getting the same colors. That's looking pretty good. Might be a little more vivid. That's a little more green. Do we have green moons? I don't know if we have green moons. Yeah, this is pretty green. I'm going to have to remember that, because to me, this looks yellow. It doesn't look green. It doesn't look green to me. But this is definitely green. This will work out okay, because if this is a little darker, this is going to have stuff in the center of it. So that's okay. Okay, so this is how you color your resin. But you can also use mica powder, which mica powder is this. And it lets you change the color to, see how that has iridescent in it, but it's also goldish or brownish. It lets you change the color of the resin. So if I wanted to pour blue in here, I could pour blue, crystal-y blue, or I could just embellish it with my foil, that's what I'm going to do. See, this is really green. This is like, what is that stuff that you stretch that you had when you were kids? No, when my kids were little, so about 40 years ago. I think they still have it. Slime. You didn't stretch it. You slimed it. So since this is a little green, and these are full, okay? And that is my there aren't any bubbles in there, but those are definitely, there's little dots of yellow in there. So I must have not, oh, it says it's yellow-green. Jeez, Tammy. Oh, well. It says it's yellow-green, which would be pretty in the yellow or in the green. I might do that. I might put this green in here because it's not as light as a Luna Moth. So, yeah. Mix it up just a minute. Another minute. Yeah, because the Luna Moth is like a yellow-green, so it's not quite neon like this, but I mean, it's Okay, man, this stuff is green. Yeah, I didn't know that it looked like it was shook up. So if you're going to use alcohol inks, make sure that they are completely mixed up, which is okay because it has these little dots in here, which is really cool because of it being the moon. And green is my favorite color. I'm going to mix this up another minute. One more minute. Now, this has a fine layer. I wonder if I can push that down. Hold on a second. I can do that. Hold, please. Go out there to the outside. Go. Ooh. Well, that is less of a ripple. I wonder if I can do that with that. That one is kind of like a fold. That's okay. It can be fixed. I'm good with it. Okay, I'm going to drizzle this in here first. Then I'm going to place my gorgeousness. I know that's not a word either. Gorgeousness. And I'm going to use my broken popsicle stick because it will let me drizzle a little bit easier. So now you're going to see this green be even more green. So what I do is I keep this cup over. Now I'm concentrating on staying inside, but it really doesn't matter if I go over the edge here because I've already painted it. So it's already green. So if I have too much of this, I will just use this to fill in the wood part. Because I like all of it shiny. I don't like just the innards shiny. Ew, that sounded gross. The innards. I am going to get some in here, though, before I forget. Oh, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all, Tammy. I thought it was going to be way too green. So I'm trying to keep this over my green just because it's green. Make sure you get your corners. It's the first thing people forget to get. Corners. So if you go around the outside like this, you more than likely will not forget your sides and corners. Trying to keep my drips over the green. If it goes on the white, that's the only thing. I didn't know if it would turn it yellow. It might not. It is art. Art is all art. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. It's a very mild neon green. And this worked. Yay, yay, yay. Sometimes I just help it along to make sure it grabs the edges. I'm going to spritz that with alcohol, just so I know I did, to get those bubbles out. Very little. You don't need a whole lot. I'm going to do this little tiny section. Everything's green, so I don't really think it matters if it has a green tint to it. I'm going to try to keep it separate, though. So I have to pour this over my leaves. Or trees. Sorry, I keep calling them leaves because they are leaves. So you're going to make sure that you fill it up to the top. You can, if you want to leave it low, which is not having it come up all the way to the top, that is totally fine. As long as you have resin grabbing all things, then everything will stick. If not, you might have something come loose. I'm going to take some of these pictures, some pictures of these in front of the windows so you can see what they look like. They look like sun catchers. They're gorgeous. Oh my gosh, that drop dropped right in there, and it is the exact same color. That's crazy. And even though I'm going to do some things here, this stuff can set. Like, it doesn't, I don't have to, like, oh, see, that went over the white and it didn't look bad. But I need it to go over my trees first. Get back in there. You can move things around with your popsicle stick or your toothpick or whatever you're using. Paintbrush, old paintbrush. Old paintbrushes, if you use the bristle part, as long as it doesn't have any paint in it, it works really good. Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure I have all my greens. See, I missed this whole guy. Oh, and I missed that whole guy. When you have a lot of little parts, you tend to miss things. Scoot you back in there. Scoot you back over there. Stay there. One of my rocks came out. Come here, buddy. Don't use your tweezers unless, I mean, you can get the stuff off with alcohol, but it's easier just not to trash them. If they're plastic tweezers, they could possibly peel off for you, but I don't know about that. I've never used my tweezers in it, so. Okay, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to take my gloves. Oh, let me get this one piece. Take my gloves off because my hands are sticky. Put this guy in there. Set you aside. Stay there. Okay, so this is how you can, this is my left side stuff. This is how you can add like different embellishments. Now I'm going to use the back of this paintbrush to seat it in there. If you want to just put it in this layer, hold on a second, I want to fix that. This guy. Well, I guess you're going to be there. You're just going to set them in there. Move them where you want. I barely have very much resin in there at all. So if you want to learn to layer, I'm going to probably teach that too, which is where you let this set up. Then you put another layer on, and then another layer of resin, another layer. You know, you just layer it so it's in different areas, so it looks far away and close. So I'm going to put this guy, well, I guess he's going right there since I moved him there. So let me scoot this guy over. If you want to use your tweezers doing this, it's entirely up to you, but I wouldn't. But you do want to make sure that, you know, you push it down in case it wants to pop up on you like this guy. Because I just moved him, so he wants to pop up. If they are popping towards you, that's fine. But popping up the side, I wouldn't do that. I'm just seating it down. I'm not making sure it's completely covered. It's not completely covered, and it's not completely wet. Okay, I'm going to put this guy right here because I'm going to put a flower on there, and I don't even have to do anything with him. These things are very fragile. I mean, super, super fragile. So you want to be real careful. If anything, set it down with your tweezers. Hey, throw me some hearts if you guys like this, the way this looks. I'm going to put this big guy here. Let go. Right here against the edge. Now remember, I'm pouring on top of this, so. Now, which way you go? I think you go this way. So I can use my tweezers to drop him. Okay, so that's my left side. So let me just kind of get them so they don't move. Those big flat flowers were the ones that were very... ooh, let me see what the purple looks like. I have different colors. No. Yeah. Kind of. I have peach. Ooh, I kind of like the peach. Ooh, that looks pretty. Looks pretty with just the flowers hitting. So this is where you could spend just a little bit of time. And if you're still hanging out with me, yeah, I know it's 9:30, but we're embellishing a lot. So if you are still here, awesome. That has a little upturn to it. As long as you get it down, you're okay. Let's do this so it goes a little quicker. And then right here, where all these stems are, I'm just going to put a flower. And it's going to cover that stem. Just like that. Okay, so let me get, these are the centerpieces. I just did a couple. So let me get these in here. Let go. Move these around. I'm going to put a couple flowers in there. When you start to embellish the piece, that's when you start to get a little, it shows creativity. It shows, I think that I'm going to maybe take this one off because it is being a little crazy. So let me see if I can find one that's not so crazy. Kind of like those petals just hitting too. I might like that even better. See, when you're thinking of things, your brain switches. Yeah, I like that better. It's more dainty. Dainty. I'll set him down. And I can do that with this one. touched the resin, so my fingers got a little sticky. But you're watching the transformation from nothingness to somethingness. I don't even know if that's a word. Don't know. I just don't know. Nope, I don't like that color. Okay, so the other side, I had these bigger leaves here. And he was broken, so instead of not using him, I'm just going to put a leaf over him. And this guy's broken. Totally okay with it, because I'm going to cover it up. Some of these are just really hard to they're just so fragile. So fragile. I need one more. See, they come in a little package like this. So I'm going to stick this guy here and move him in here. So he's going up the side. Put a couple of these guys in here. These are like little 4-leaf clovers, but they aren't clovers. Sprinkle some of these. And then you just have, you know, I'm going to put an eyeball, or not an eyeball, I'm going to put an embellishment for his face. And I'm going to pour the rest of the resin on top of this resin. I'm going to leave that alone up there. I'm going to put some, oh, I haven't done the blue yet. Okay, so let me do, this is super cute. This is really cute. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to put my gloves back on. Where are those beads at? Where are the beads? Where are the beads? Hold on a second. So the head is yellow. I'm going to put my gloves back on. And I have this dish of, not dish, but souffle cup full of these round I don't know where it's at. I thought oh, there they are. I thought I had them sitting there. They have all these round things, so I thought I would stick one right there. And that one's perfect, actually. I don't even have to go any further than that. Ooh, and I think I might grab 2 more of those. They're just all different colors. So they're like, ooh, that one's pretty. They're all pretty. I want to find a couple green ones. Something greenish or yellowish. That one will work. That one. And there's a green one, but that's kind of blue. Thanks for hanging with me tonight. I know this is a long one, but I hope I've taught you a lot. I just need a yellow one. Just another yellow one. Dude, really? I just threw them out so I could flip through them real quick. Those little black ones are pretty. Okay, so I was going to go with yellow, but now I'm going with yellow and black. Yep, that'll work because it'll pull the blue. Oh, not that one. Okay, now I found two the same. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour this in. Cover my flowers or my things. Get that off of there. I don't know where it's going here. So I'm still going to drizzle it, but I'm going to drizzle it a little faster because it's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to try to pour this. This is a big area. Let's see what it does. Yeah, nobody's moving. That's good. Oh my God, this is going to be so pretty. Okay, so if you have some that do not seat down and you are to the top, you need to push them down into the resin and make sure that they seat down, because if not, they won't be shiny like the other ones. Oops. And just be careful of those, because they're very flat and very fragile. So I'm gonna have to put a lot more over here. I mean, this was an intricate piece, so hence is why we're still alive. But what else did you have to do on a Sunday night besides spend time with me? Okay, get this in here. And then this guy might be a pain, but he might not. Okay, so I have a little bit over here where it's kind of seeping out a little bit. That's probably because I scooted that this. I was going like this. So that's how little, because I don't ever have any leakage. That's how little of moving it. That's all it took, was me to scrape across that, and it lifted it up. Okay. You are done. You are done. Now, I'm going to put some on here because we just have the finishing touches, and hopefully you'll still be hanging out. I'm going to push this down. You learned a lot about resin tonight. So if you weren't able to watch it all, I hope you're able to come back and watch the replay, because there was quite a bit of information in here. So hopefully you learned a lot about resin. It's really easy. It's just when you get to, I already poured the A in this. When you get to the embellishments, oh my God, look how pretty that looks. I'm looking at it on my iPad. Oh, pretty gorgeous, if I do say so myself. So I have one last thing to do here, is one to fill it up, and let me get my stick here. Oops. I guess that's not supposed to be in there. Come here, dude. This is live. This guy, if you stick it to anything, will stick and be there forever. So he went into the trash. So I have the tail to do, and I was going to throw a little bit of stone work right here on the very bottom, just to kind of cover up, you know, a little bit. See how things float? See, this is coming up, and this one's coming up, that one's coming up. So things float. They definitely float. And I think I have enough glitz going on in this one. I don't think I need to add. Well, yeah, I'm going to. I can't not. When you put the foil on, it turns it. Seriously, it turns. Oh, and I forgot his little antennae. I painted these little pieces of greenery yellow and put glitter on them, and they look just like the little purple flowy things. Yeah, look how much I have coming out here. So I'm not going to mess with it, and if I keep pouring on it, it's going to definitely come out. So I have to let it seal itself a little bit. So, hence, you learned not to scrape on the piece. Don't do it. Just don't do it. And these like to float to the top too, so sometimes I'll push them down. And that was starting to set up just a little bit, so I ought to be able to fix that tonight before I go to bed. So definitely ask me any questions if you guys have any questions. I know that this is a little later. Didn't realize that I was not all the way on camera. Sorry. Still not all the way on camera. Did I get you? Yeah, let me scoot you over a little bit more. I'm already leaking, so it doesn't matter that I'm moving it. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm just pouring clear over the top of this now. Well, I guess I got rid of my popsicle stick, didn't I? I did. Oh, this is working okay. Now, if you happen to overfill this, you can't lift it up and let it drip dry because you'll have this going on. So you need to just let it set up, do its complete setup. And tomorrow you can either break it off like I showed you today on how I broke that off of the hummingbird. Or, right there, bud, thank you. Use some snips, wire snips. I'm going to push this guy back down. This shows you what happens. Everything likes to float. So if you want like 3D layers, like this one separated from this one, separated from that one, that's where you go and you do the what was I going to say? Forgot what I was going to say. It's gone. Sorry, it's gone. I'm going to put a little bit on here so I can put his fuzzies on. And then I'll cover it up. So his fuzzies are, it's purple underneath. I guess I'm going to use my tweezers because I don't think I can do this with my fingers. My fingers are sticky. Here's his fuzzy. Look how adorable. Where's his other fuzzy? Ah, he was sitting right here. Oh, come on. Where are you at? His other fuzzy was sitting right there. Don't know. I gotta find it, though. Oh, I don't know where it went. So this guy here, he's going to have a little bit of overage. Totally fine. I'm just letting it go over. And tomorrow I'll snip that away. But yeah, look how cute that is. So this guy does not exist. And I need to find that other guy. It's like he blew away. How could you blow away? Huh. Well, I'll be doing mixing tomorrow. Or I'll be doing this tomorrow around 8. And I promise it won't be this long. I wanted to do this one extra special because it's a gift. And I wanted to show you guys stuff. Oh, Tammy, you're not supposed to be doing that over there. Yeah, so every night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm trying to go live with the resins so I can teach you guys stuff about the resins and how anybody can do it. And let's spritz this pretty quickly because it is building up bubbles. Don't want the bubbles. Okay, they're still popping on themselves. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of bubbles right here. I'm not sure why. I'll see how it goes here. Yeah, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll be going live. I'm going to try to do it every day. So definitely let people know. Now I'm just doing this, the part of the wood. Now when you do the wood kind of soaks it up a little bit. So you might have a spot or two that decides it wants to like split. And that's okay. All you have to do is just kind of tap it and it'll fill back in because it's self-leveling. That was a lot of words. Okay, I have a little too much over here, so I'm going to pull some out. And yes, I can do that. And fill that up. I'll pull a little bit more out. Before I go any further, I'm going to put those little embellishments on here. I was going to make his tail stand out. Put my glove off. I'm going to put this right there. And that one right there. Remember, this is make-believe. It's definitely make-believe. I'm going to take some of this foil. This foil is crazy. I'll tell you right now it's crazy. I'm going to put some foil on the blue. Make the blue really kick. See, it's just foil, but it's so shiny. And so I'll go wherever I please type stuff. And when you grab it, you're grabbing more than one piece. This guy's probably not going to go. Oh, there he goes. I have so many brushes with resin on them. It's crazy. It just gives it something extra, and it's just foil. If I can get any in there, but that's okay. I love it. So I add this stuff last because it likes to float. I want to spread that out a little bit, but this green a little bit. It's sticking to my hands. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's just sticking to my hands. I almost kind of wasted some of that. And then the last of the foil. Come here. Where's that color at? Nope, not doing that one. Not doing that one. Nope. That. Sorry, I was thinking. These will sink down, and if they don't, that's okay. I'll just put some resin right over the top of them. I'm not going all the way up. See, this stopped, so I can go ahead and fill him back up. Just, you know, these little nuances that you put on this, they are all one of a kind for sure. Because even if I tried to make this again, I couldn't. About the same, yeah. I want it pretty full. These things turn so green when they're full or covered. Come here, buddy. Okay, so just because I'm just going to scrape some of this up. Not moving anything, I'm just putting it in here. It's silly to waste it. I mean, if you know that you learn to know when you can and can't mess around with it like this. So definitely trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. But I think it turned out gorgeous. I wish I had his little guy. I don't know where it's at. I laugh a lot and things go flying, like light things. And I'll probably find it as soon as I get off here. So I'm going to finish resining him, and that will be it. Sorry for a long one, but I was in the teaching mode. Okay, I'm going to see if I can pour some more of this on here and see if it's going to work and stay in there. It's acting like it wants to come out in this one corner, so I'm not going to waste the resin. I can add it tomorrow. But I have this resin, so I'm definitely going to get everything covered that needs covered. And definitely in the comments, let me know if you've learned stuff, because that's why I'm on here, is to teach, to teach, to teach. So I'm just going around looking where I missed the wood. I'll cover my rocks so they're all super shiny. Most of them sunk. Most of my plants floated up, so I'm going to push them down a little bit. That's the thing about layering, is if you get the layering going, your things don't tend to float. So they look like, you know, 3 different levels. I wish I knew where his little bush thing was. His eyebrow. His eyebrow. Holy cow. Questions and questions and questions. Oh my. Definitely ask me questions. Now I'm just going around making sure that I didn't miss any, because I have extra resin, and wherever there looks like there might be a hole, I'm putting it on. If there's a low spot, I'm putting it on. If there's a high spot, I'm putting it on. Like this is pretty high over here. I don't know why I made this one so high. Unless I moved stuff around. But you can see how you can take something just ordinary and transform it into just a masterpiece, I think. I think it's a masterpiece. Okay, now I'm just going around and grabbing the wood, because that's all I see that I need to get. Oh, see, now I missed that whole blue one. See, it's important to take the time to just go around and kind of peek. I missed right there in that purple. And I always miss wood. I have no idea why. It just must just eat it. This is a little thin right here, so I'm going to bring it up to the top. Okay. I think I'm done. This one's going to take forever to upload. I'm going to straighten those guys out because they floated just a little bit. Oop, see this rock right here? Missed that rock. Missed this one. But yeah, those rocks are so pretty. If you have the resin and you have low spots, I just go over them and make sure that everything is covered. Because there's no sense in throwing it out when you see that there's, you know, spots you missed. And see, this stopped seeping, so I can go ahead and fill this all the way to the top now. Make sure I've got all my leaves covered. And I've got these bulbs covered. I'm pretty sure I did. Okay. Good deal. I'm going to give it one more spritz. I'm going to pick up this rock and put it in here because he doesn't need to be lonely. Yeah, but this is cute. This little deal is cute. See, he moved too. Come on, I don't want you to break. Scoot yourself over. There you go. Yeah, I'll find his other one and get it on there. I don't know where it's at. I don't know. This is going in the trash. Okay, guys. I like it. I think it's pretty. Gloves off. I think it's really pretty. Definitely pretty. Let's scoot this guy back down here. See, even if you push it down, they tend to come back up. So everything looks like it's floating. Okay, I'm going to give it one mist, and I am done. Just to make sure, and I've got resin all over this. Hopefully that popped all my bubbles. And we are good. Thank you for hanging out with me. I know it was 2.5 hours. Oh my gosh. Or 2 hours and 10 minutes. But look at it. It's gorgeous. And I didn't get tired doing it. My brain kept going and going and going. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Thank you.